Hey everyone! So I'm going to give you the step-to-step everyday makeup look that I do. This is going to include the priming and all of that stuff. So please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe. Now I'm going to begin. So for the first step, I'm going to do my Natural Radiance Prep and Prime. I like the color that's pink. And I put it on my hand and I put that much on. This helps keep the foundation on all day. So I get it and I put it on my face to give my face that moisturizer that it needs, because your face needs moisturizer and it needs a good primer. So I got this all on. And I do with the extra that I have, I put it on my neck because your neck is part of your face. So it's always good to have that extra moisture on your face. So now, I always use a paper towel or a napkin to put all my product on because it's easier just to toss it. So next, I'm going to use my Pore Professional Pore Minimizer. This, I will show you how much I put. This will cover my entire face. So if you have like me, I have really deep pores everywhere. This stuff will be your new BFF. So I use a little flat brush. This is the e.l.f. foundation brush. It was like $1 at Walmart. And I just get it and I put it on my cheeks, both sides. And my nose, because especially that's where I really get pores. And I do a little bit on my chin and on my forehead. So now we're going to move on to the foundation. So I am going to use a MAC Studio Fix foundation. My color is NW65. What I use to get this out, because I don't want to spend $10 for a pump, is a swab. So I'm going to grab that real quick. And I just grab a little bit, like that much, will cover the whole face. And I'm going to use my foundation sponge. And the rest I kind of do a little paint on the face. And now just kind of squeeze that on the sponge. And now I'm going to go through and put it all over my face. One thing which I can't stretch enough when people ask about how do I know what's the right foundation color is go to the mall, go to Ulta, any place that sells makeup will color match you and find the perfect color for you. Because if not, you're gonna be stuck with a color that's like 3 shades too dark or 3 shades too light, and it's not fun. And the girls that work at the mall are pretty fast, and the girls at Ulta are pretty quick too. They're good at what they do, and they make sure that you leave with the color you want. So I got all the foundation on, it's all covered. I'm dropping these everywhere this morning. So now I'm gonna do a concealer to do under the eyes and on the little blemishes. So you get to get my little concealer. So I use several different brands of makeup. So this is a Tarte. I got this over at Ulta. And I'm gonna put it under my eyes because that's where I really need it. So that we don't have that sleepy look. I just put a few little dots on my eyes. Just enough to get that sleepy look off my face. And this is actually a little tiny one, but I'm glad I got a little one because that's the first time I'm using it. And so far, it's actually pretty good. So I'm going to use the other side of my sponge to blend it in. And see, it looks a little bit brighter. But I'm going to show you the other thing I use too. So Okay, that looks good. So now I'm going to do my Prep and Prime. It is the Prep and Prime Highlighter Radiant Rose. And you just give it a little twist. You can see the product on there. And you just put it wherever you need it. I always do under the eyes because I know that's where we all need a little brightness so you don't look all tired and sleepy. That's what I always use for it because it seems to work better there so it doesn't look all tired. So I'm going to use my sponge. I still have a little bit of room on it. And blend it out. Okay, so now I'm going to get my powder to put on my face. And this one I'm going to use is going to be the Mineralizing MAC Light Plus. And that's how the color looks. And I'm gonna get my big poofy brush and I'm gonna swirl it on here. Give a little tap to get the excess off. And blend it in so it doesn't add any color on because my foundation already has a good enough color that I don't need any other color added to it, because if I do that, I'm gonna look really dark. So we don't want that. Well, at least I don't want that look. So that's why I do it this way. And next I'm gonna do a little bit of a bronzer to give that color back in my face so I don't just look all pale. I'm gonna use a bronzer. Some people don't like bronzers, but I like the fact that bronzer will go back in, add color into your face, because not everybody has that natural, beautiful, radiant look. It takes steps to make your face look good. So that's personally the way I like to do it. You guys could do it however you want. That is just my preference. So I am looking for my little bronzer right now, so I do apologize. It's taking a minute because I do have a lot of makeup. So, okay. Okay, so I'm going to do the medium dark. This is the Mineralized Skin Finish. It's darker, but I use it as bronzer. So, and I'm going to use my little angle brush. This was at Walmart. It was like $2 or $3. And I go through and just put it on the nose and top of the forehead and a little bit on top of my cheeks because I'm going to add in my blush. So, I mean, it's a darker one, but I like the fact that I could use it as a bronzer. It works good. I like it. And next I'm going to go in and do, my blush is Sweet Enough. It is a buildable brown pink. So that's the actual color. And I'm going to swirl my brush in here. And it helps when you smile to bring the cheekbones nice. So I'm going to put it in there. And that looks good. It's not too extreme. And now I want to do my eyes. I can have fun with the eyes. I get a lot of different makeups. Like if I see a color eyeshadow that I think I'm gonna like, I'll get them at Walmart. I'll get them at the mall. It all depends on where I am and what I feel like getting. But a lot of times if I see them at the mall, it's a color I like, I will just grab it and buy it. It's simple for me, at least. So now I'm going to use my Painterly Longwear Paint Pot. It is a very good eye primer by MAC. They have different colors. This one, you can wear this even as an eyeshadow if you wanted to. I personally don't. I like it better as eye primer. So I'm going to get my little swab here and put a little bit on top of my eyes. An ex-friend of mine didn't really like this one. She prefers the Bare Minerals eye primer. I'm not really a big fan of the Bare Minerals eye primer. I love their products, don't get me wrong. But just when it comes to the primer, I'm just not really a fan of them. Not a fan of them. I just really didn't like, I could see the creases in it, and for her it worked awesome. But for me, I just really didn't like how it worked. So I did try the e.l.f. eye primer. Somebody said it was similar to Benefit. I will disagree. It did not do the job, not a Benefit. Somebody said it was similar to Urban Decay. It didn't get anywhere near to that. So I'm gonna use the same brush I had before and blend it in my eye. So now you can't see all the clumps. I just go through them. So this definitely will make your eyeshadow stay all day. Somebody said concealer. I tried that before. I didn't notice much of a difference. I just personally rather go the extra mile and do an eye primer. It's worth the 20 bucks to spend to make your makeup stay all day. And so that's just my preference. So next I'm gonna do my Mega Glow for my eyes. When I don't feel like I have a color I like, I'll use my bronzers for my eyeshadows, and they work pretty good. Sometimes they do. Most part they do. This is by Wet n Wild right here. It is 348 straight bronze. And I'm gonna have to fix my nose. I just like a little spot of bronzer all over it, so I'm gonna fix that. And since it looks really dark right now, I'm gonna go over it with a pressed powder because that'll tame it down a little bit. Right away, tamed it down. See, it doesn't look as extreme. It did the job it was supposed to do. So now, since I got that little spot of bronzer on me, I got my sponge for my foundation and I went over it. It's gone. It's always hit or miss with eyeshadows. Like I said, I personally like using bronzer for my eyes because I like browns in general, but it's just kind of fun. This guy is by Sephora. It is the Ballot Shoes number 205. It is an everyday shimmer. Not everybody likes shimmer. I personally do. Everybody has their own preference, so I like something that has shimmer. It's fun. My mom's not a shimmer person. I love shimmers. She thinks it's like glue to come off your eyes, but I'm like, I've worn shimmer. Darn it, sorry. I've worn shimmer so many times, it's just like nothing to me. See, if you don't believe me in shimmer, it's all over my hands. But next I'm gonna go in with my Benefit Havana to go over the eyeshadow a little bit. Like I said, I use several different colors. Everybody has their own preference. I just kind of go over it to get a little pinky in it, so it's not like too extreme. But it's actually really pretty. It's all like mixed in. I like Benefit for their pore minimizer and stuff. I'm just not really a fan of their foundation because they're really yellow and it doesn't do anything for me. Any yellow doesn't. I have to rinse off this excess off my hands right now because I'm going to forget about it and it's going to get everywhere. I'm personally just not a fan of their foundation. Even though they changed and expanded their line, it's still really yellow. It's just not my favorite. So I just rather use their pore minimizers because the color that they try matching me with is extremely ghosty and it does not look pretty at all. It's not my color range at all. Next, I'm gonna do my mascara. I like to do 2 of them. I know sometimes people don't like how it looks. This is Provision by Urban Decay and the MAC Dimension in purple. So what I'm gonna do now is put it on top here. See, I don't go like super crazy with mascara. I just like to have 2 different colors. And the purple's not even super noticeable. You wouldn't notice it unless I actually pointed out to you and showed you very closely. So now I'm going to go in with the purple. And I actually had a friend tell me a little trick with mascara, that if you're running low, to put eye drop solution in it, and it makes your mascara last longer. Never knew that. I'm gonna have to try it sometime. So, like I know a lot of people, they do the baking technique. I'm not really familiar with that yet. So one of these times I will give it a try. I'm just not really sure how you do it. So that's why I do what I'm comfortable with, which is just like the basics. Okay. See, you know, it's all nice. And so while that is drying, I am going to put on my Peach Perfect Too Faced Translucent Powder, Peach Whisper. So this stuff smells like peaches. It smells really, really good. So this is pretty new to me. I just got this a few weeks ago, but it smells amazing. I like the smell of it and everything. It smells good. And I always like to just set your makeup with a translucent. I'm just gonna put it on there. I smell like all peachy now. It smells all sweet and good. It gives you just a pinch of color without going overboard. And that is good. It sets in nicely. And it comes in a nice big size. So this will probably last me a while, which I'm glad because I hate going through them. Ooh, sorry, I'm not trying to throw stuff out here. See, it's a nice, good size. So, and that I got at Sephora. And so for the final step, I'm going to set my makeup with a setting spray. And there's a lot of them that they have out there. They have MAC. The Urban Decay has one. I know even Wet n Wild has one. So the one I'm going to do with is the Mineralized Charged Water Hydrating Mist Broom Hydrate. So now I'm going to set my face. So it's going to look like a little shower, but that's the point of it. One thing, be careful with your mascara because it does get a little wet. I just had that happen. See, it looks super, super wet right now, but one thing about the sprays, it makes your makeup last all day. Like it won't move out of place. It's nice. It'll stay in place, and I like the effect of it because they always, when they will do your makeup at the mall, they'll always ask you, can I set you with some spray? It's like, sure, and it feels kind of weird if you're not used to having water misted all over you, but it makes your makeup last all day, which is good. So, and again, to go over what products I used today was the Natural Radiance by MAC. And then I went in with the Benefit Pore Minimizer. I then used my Studio Fix Foundation. And I used my Light Plus powder, and I went in with my dark golden for the bronzer, and for my eyes I used the Wet n Wild, the bronzing one. I couldn't find it for a minute. I used this guy, the Wet n Wild, the bronze. And I also went in with Sephora light one, and I went in with the Havana pink on top. And my final steps was I used the Provision by MAC mascara, and I used the Extreme Dimension Lash. And I forgot that for my eyes, to highlight, I use the Prep and Prime MAC, the Prep Prime Highlighter Radiant Rose, and I used the Tarte Shape Tape for under my eyes first. So I hope you guys found that useful. See, the spray's already, it's already drying. It's not even as wet as it was. It dries pretty fast. So, oops, I hope my dog's ball scared me. I noticed that if you want to try the stuff from MAC, like the little ones, you don't want to be obligated to buy a full big one. They do sell the little tiny ones. They just won't last as long. But you can use them for recycling. But they do sell little ones until you're comfortable with using the bigger ones. They do sell those little ones. So it does come in handy in case you're not sure about, you know, being obligated to buy a big one. They do sell the little ones and they come in handy. I know MAC doesn't sell mini mascaras, but I know that Benefit and Tarte, they sell the smaller ones, which is nice. So you don't have to feel like you have to buy a big one. Because I tried their Better Than Sex one because I didn't know if I was going to like it for sure. So I bought a little one and it works pretty good. So I'll probably buy the bigger one next time, but I wasn't sure if I was really going to be a fan of it or like it. So it works pretty good. So I hope you found this makeup demo useful. And again, you don't have to buy the stuff I'm telling you to buy. I'm just giving you the way I did my makeup, how I made it look is with those products. So please feel free to give my video a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you. Have a good weekend. Bye.